Hi everybody, TJ Mac Vintage Cards here, and today I'm doing a set profile. I haven't done one in a little while. This is the 1973 Topps Football, and I usually do 18 key cards for every year from 1950 to 1989. There are a few instances where I will go over that. This is one of the sets because there's so many rookies in this set that I wanted to get that I did go a little bit over, so I finished at 22 for this set. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the set first before we get into the players. There are 528 cards in the 1973 Topps set. It was the largest issue at that time. And because of that, about a third of the cards are first-year cards or rookie cards. And I say first year sometimes because some of these cards are so far after players' rookies' years that I say, they could be really considered first-year Topps cards. Or first Topps cards, probably a better way of saying it. And you can see here there's some horizontal cards as well as the vertical cards. Most are vertical. And the card look here is it's got like this thick black border around the inset photo. There's a ribbon on the left side of all of these cards, and it's got different colors that tend to appeal to the look of the card. Don't say they exactly match, but they set off the look of the card. I think it's a pretty basic design. There's still no logos, as you can see on the Merlin Olsen here with the linemen. Some of the photos can be kind of interesting because unless you know who the player is, it can be a little hard to find them. This Butkus card's great though. I profiled this one earlier when I was doing my top 10 football cards of the 70s. And there's also a really neat looking Bob Lilly here. So I'll go through and we'll talk about the cards a little more. Let me just, my notes here. So this is the third year Terry Bradshaw card. Deacon Jones with the Chargers. Of course, he's better known for the Rams, but finished his career up with the Redskins, actually, but he had a couple Chargers cards to end his Topps run. And then there's the Frank Harkin. I showed this card in another video of my top 10 cards from the 70s. I love this sea of purple helmets in front of him at the line there. Just a great looking card. Here's the Franco Harris rookie. Now Franco Harris, he didn't originally want to play for the Steelers. He came out of Penn State. He's been there for 4 years. He said the Steelers was really the last team he wanted to play for. He wanted to get out of the Pennsylvania area, see other parts of the country. But I would say it was a good decision to play for the Steelers. He only won 4 Super Bowls there and rushed for over 12,000 yards and made 9 Pro Bowls. So I think it worked out for him okay. What's interesting, though, is at the time that Harris and Peyton were vying for Jim Brown's record in 1984, Jim Brown had some pretty bad things to say about Franco Harris, pretty much saying that at the time he didn't deserve the record. He had a penchant for running out of bounds. Brown said that even then, at the age of 47, he could do anything that Franco Harris could do. And he challenged them to a 40-yard dash, and he said if he beat him, he'd come out of retirement. So what he did is they ran the 40-yard dash. Harris at 34 was clocked at 5.16 seconds. Brown, who was supposedly hampered by a hamstring injury at 48 at the time because they ran it a year later, finished at 5.72 seconds. Now, although each participant, they competed in 4 events, won 2 events each, Harris won the 40-yard dash. And he said, Franco beat me fair and square, said Brown, who grabbed his left hamstring during the dash. He said, I don't have any excuses. Pretty interesting story. And then here's the Art Shell. This is a first Topps card. He was in the league for quite a while. I believe he even played in the AFL. Art Shell, so considered really first Topps card, but rookie, I guess. And here's the Jack Ham. This is a beautiful example of this card. That's his rookie card there. Just a fabulous linebacker out of Penn State. Great tradition of linebackers they have there. And then there's quite a coif of hair there on John Regan's for the time. It was in style, I suppose. There's his second year card, grade 8. And this is a very great looking Joe Green card. This looks like a monument, this photo, him looking down. He has some great cards. And this is in a grade 8 as well. Just a beautiful card of Mean Joe. Nice image of Bob Greasy there. The Dolphins won the Super Bowl that year, beating the Vikings 24-7. Dan Deerdorf rookie. Of course, former Monday Night Football announcer, and I think he did NFL games for CBS, I want to say, as well. Len Dawson, he was the Walter Payton, what they call the Walter Payton Man of the Year now. Of course, it wasn't called that then. He was Man of the Year in 1973. And this will be a shout out to my buddy Eric at the Card Closet. He reminds us jokingly often that his father was roommates with Jim Langer in college. So this is a Jim Langer rookie card. And then moving down here is the Jack Youngblood rookie. Scan back a little on that. We'll talk about him for a second. Now, he was a defensive end with the Rams. He was a 2-time NFC Player of the Year, and he was a 5-time first-team All-Pro. He's unofficially credited with 150.5 sacks. Now, again, it's unofficial because a sack wasn't an official stat until 1982. Now, Pro Football historian John Thurney, he keeps an unofficial list, which is kind of cool, I think, of all the all-time sack leaders, and Youngblood would have ranked 6th all-time had those been official numbers. Now, it's hard to know that for sure, but he would have been tied with Chris Dolman, they believe, with 150.5 sacks. So you get a kind of an idea of the player he is, at least anyways. Now, of course, Youngblood's most famous moment, for those who know anything about his career, is when he played in 1979 playoffs and Super Bowl with a fractured left fibula. He also played the Pro Bowl that year, which was amazing to me. That was only a week after the Super Bowl, and he had a fractured fibula, and he's playing in the Pro Bowl. I mean, I think that's pretty cool that he's that kind of player. But he got hurt, I believe, sacking Roger Staubach near the sideline in the divisional game. And this was selected as one of the top 10 gutsiest performances in the NFL Top 10 series. So that's Jack Youngblood, and here's Joe Namath with his cap that says Joe on it. This was his last Topps card, even though he played until 1977. Supposedly, he didn't appear on any more Topps cards due to a dispute. And I read there were a few examples of a 74 Topps proof, and there's even a picture of one. I believe Larry Frisch, famous card dealer, owned one. And there was one that sold at auction back in 2004 for a couple $1,000s. Just a big headshot, 1974 Topps Namath. Not anything really great looking about the card, but it's kind of cool that they have one. And then here we got Johnny U, second to last card, with the Chargers here. This is his first card with the Chargers. And then we got the second-year card of Roger Staubach. This is a great example as well. Now, these cards are mostly grade 7s and grade 8s. And this card here is just one of the the great cards of him in his white Cowboys jersey, just kind of looking off to the side there. Very nice image of him. He led the league in passer rating in 1973 with a 94.6, and he tied for touchdowns with 23. Different game then. They only played 14 games as well, though. And here's Merlin Olsen. This is the first year that Ken Stabler started at quarterback for the Raiders for a season, and he had a really nice year that year. He was leading the league in completion percentage with over 62%, I believe. And, of course, he went on to become a Super Bowl winning quarterback with the Raiders in the 70s and an eventual Hall of Famer. And this is his rookie card. And then down here we got the Juice, O.J. Simpson, who was the MVP. Let me get the glare off. He was the MVP of 1973. This is his 2,000-yard rushing year when he ran for 2,003 yards in just 14 games, which is just a marvel to me that he could do that. He averaged 143 yards a game that year, 6 yards a carry. Lawrence McCutcheon was second with yards per game at 91, and John Brockington was second in rushing with 1,144. And here you got O.J. running for over 2,000 yards. And the funny thing is, though, Mercury Morris averaged 6.4 yards a carry, more than O.J. Simpson's 6 yards a carry. Now, granted, he had half the carries, but he still ran for 949 yards that year. So that's pretty impressive. And then next to him, you got Mercury Morris's teammate, which was Larry Zonka. He was a Super Bowl MVP in 1973, and he was also a 1,000-yard rusher. He was one of only 4 1,000-yard rushers that year with 1,003 yards. And, he's just one of those really tough runners. And in his career, I'm sorry, not his career, but he was a first-team All-Pro as well that year in 1973, as well as a Hall of Famer. And And then you got Dick Butkus here. And we'll finish up with the great Bob Lilly. So there we go. That's the profile of the 1973 Topps football set. And everybody have a great, great day.